Hello everybody and welcome to another one of my Starfield ship build tutorials. This is a Corvette styled ship that is all built in the A class to make it easier and cheaper to build for all types of spacegoers. This video is going to go a bit more in depth than my last video, so I'll have each portion of the video timestamped in the description. Now I'm going to go over some pretty important details about the ship before we hop into the rest of the guide, so if you're not familiar with third-person ship designs, you might want to tune into this portion of the intro. This ship is designed heavily around the UC flagship symmetry, so in order to keep the Corvette class-like aesthetic, I had to do some experimenting with Starfield's limited ship design tools. All that means is that the cockpit is hidden underneath the main visual parts of the ship. This essentially makes the ship a third-person only ship in order for it to look as it does. Since during spaceflight it's easier to see incoming fire in third person, I think it's worth it and most people like seeing their ship in action anyways. If you'd like an alternate version with the cockpit on top, feel free to comment and I'll try to get another video for that out as well, if there's any need for it at least. That's all for this intro, so let's get into the ship guide. Now, like in my previous ship build guide fashion, I'm going to slice the ship into its respective layers. The ship comes in at around 180,000 credits to build with no discounts, so it's a little bit on the pricier side. Here's a quick run over of all the parts, so if you're trying to follow along, feel free to pause the video whenever. A lot of the main modules on this ship are swappable for alternate parts, just like all the critical modules are on other ships, so feel free to use the ones that you prefer the most. I only selected these ones since they are personally my favorite looking and performing versions. I found this color scheme as well to work a bit better with the Corvette look, but I'm curious to see what you guys make yours look like. Moving further into the ship guide, almost every part of the ship comes from only 2 shipyards. Most of the parts come from Deimos Star Yard, as the ship is heavily influenced by the UC capital ships. I wanted to keep most of the parts from UC as to make it easy to build like my other ship build, which, by the way, if you haven't checked that tutorial out, it's another great ship that's similar to this one. I'll link it here. It's cheaper and easier to build, so it's made for people on, that credit budget. All of the rest of the parts, as seen here, are all purchasable from Aquila City. Like I said before, the critical components, such as weapons, reactors, and etc., they can all be swapped for anything, so feel free to use whichever one works best for you. Next, we're going to take a look inside the Corvette. I spaced the habs out and put them in this particular order since it makes sense to head straight from the cargo hold to the cockpit, storage, or into the crew deck. Then to have the crew quarters and mess hall to be connected off of the crew deck itself. Each of the habs could be changed to whatever you prefer, but in this setup, the doors and paths aren't a mess, so it makes for the best type of ergonomic feel. Lastly, I'll show you the Corvette's takeoff sequence as well as some combat. Maneuverability of this ship is phenomenal for its size, and the reactor to module ratio, I would say, is nearly perfect. Grav drive boot up speed is incredibly quick at less than a second, and the ship's overall speed isn't too bad either. I'm not sure how it would perform on the lower difficulties, but I've only played this game on very hard so far, and it's worked great for me. Let me know what you guys think. Now that we looked over just about everything that the ship has to offer, that's going to be all for this video. I hope you guys liked the design of the Corvette, and I hope you liked this guide on how to build it. Let me know what you guys think of this format for the ship build tutorial as well, whether you prefer it to go shorter, go more in depth, or to show something else I might have missed. That's going to be it for me though. I hope you guys all take care, and I'll see you guys next time.